Konnichiwa guys, this is Phil, a Kiwi in Japan. Welcome to Treasures for Trigger. Today I'll be doing a video for Cobra Convergence 7. So, living in Japan, I absolutely love the Takara release of the GI Joe line. GI Joe was released in Japan in 1986. Unfortunately, it only lasted one wave. The 1986 release of GI Joe in Japan included Hasbro figures which were released between the years 1983 and 1985, i.e. the first three waves. There were a mixture of vehicles and also carded figures. In total, there were 24 individual carded figures released by Takara, 13 unlucky GI Joes, and 11 Cobra. Today, of course, I'm going to be focusing on the Cobra releases. So let's take a look at Cobra's first 11, the figures chosen by Takara to be released into the Japanese market. So without any further delay, let's take a look at Cobra's starting 11. Okay, opening the innings, of course, we have the Cobra Captain, Cobra Commander. Definitely well worthy of the E01 position of the Takara release of GI Joe. At the non-striker's end, we have at E02, Destro, enemy weapons supplier, with hard head on, ready to face the GI Joe opening attack. Then at first drop, E03, we have that Aussie battler from Sydney, Major Blood, Mercenary. E04, Baroness, ready to go hit the leathers in her leather. This hot Cobra intelligence officer is definitely justified in the top of the order. Firefly, E05. Firefly is so stealthy and fast between the wickets that I haven't been able to catch him on card yet, and definitely a star player in Takara's Cobra's first 11. Coming into the all-rounders, we have E06, the Cobra Officer, the other carded figure that has eluded me so far. Back to the scoring cards, we have E07, the Cobra Soldier. Another must figure taken from the early releases from Hasbro. Whew, what a hot start from the Cobra 11. So let's just take a wee drinks break. And moving forward, looking at the tail end of Cobra's 11, things start to get a little bit interesting. We have a home run with one particular figure, and I feel that Takara may have dropped the ball on their last few choices. Anyway, let's continue. And now we've come to the gem of the GI Joe release in Japan with Takara. E08, Zartan, Dreadnought Leader. As you can see, he was released as a single carded figure back in 1986. The only version released like this, along with the Fun School Zartan that was released in India. As this is such a special figure, let's take a look at the back of the card back, and also let's have a listen to his file card.
ならず者集団の首領であるザルタンは皮膚の色を自由に変えることができる不思議な体質を持っている。周囲の色に体の色を同化させてしまうこともできる。同時に変装の名人であり、どんな人間にも化けてしまう。20カ国の言葉と方言を操り、身の軽さも普通ではない。サーカスの軽業師並みで数多くの武術をマスターし、強さも一流だ。素性や経歴はもちろん不明だ。GI ジョーチームが密かに得た情報では、ヨーロッパの秘密組織で訓練を受けた男らしい。正体がわからないだけに不気味なザルタンである。
And rounding out the tail end of Takara's Cobra 11, we have a trio of Dreadnought quickies. Buzzer, E09, from cricket country Cambridge, England. E10, Dreadnought Ripper, a devil of a man from Tasmania, Australia. And finally, and at last, we have E11 Torch, another Aussie speedster from New South Wales, ready to fire into the GI Joe attack. You may be asking yourself, where are the likes of Monkey Wrench? But remember, the Takara series only released figures from 1982 to 1985. There seems to be general consensus that Dreadnoughts are not official Cobra. So do you think this motley crew of misfits is deserving of Cobra grouping? What did Takara think would have been the appeal of Dreadnoughts? Perhaps deeper storytelling during play? Were the figures cheaper to make with similar paint jobs and coloured accessories? Were movies like Mad Max big hits in Japan at the time? Or was it that they were from far-reaching countries like England and Australia that may have made them more appealing in a foreign market? Maybe we'll never know. Cobra is such a strong and important symbol in GI Joe, but do these Dreadnoughts deserve to have the glorious Cobra association? Clearly, the easy distinction between two teams, GI Joe versus Cobra, would have been an easier way for Takara to sell a concept to the Japanese market. So, Dreadnoughts were given Cobra card back. In addition to the carded figures and the vehicle drivers, Cobra Eels was a mail-away figure in Japan. This is an interesting choice for a mail-away, given many countries, including New Zealand, had hooded Cobra Commander as Cobra mail-in option. I can now only imagine how epic it would have been to have the Cobra Eels on card back. But not just the Eels, other amazing Cobra figures that were released by Hasbro between the years 1983 and 1985 never made the cut. The most obvious exclusion being Storm Shadow, released by Hasbro in 1984. A ninja released into the Japanese market? Surely a no-brainer, I would have thought. If included in Wave 1 back in 1986, may have skyrocketed the popularity of GI Joe in Japan. Did they want to keep some aces up their sleeve for the second wave? I guess we will never know. Okay guys, so this is the point where I let you know that there was a plan for a second wave of figures into the Japanese market with Takara. So, in terms of Cobra, the releases would have been E15, Storm Shadow, E16, the Crimson Guard, E17, Tomax and Zamot, the Crimson Twins, E18, Televiper, and E19, Snow Serpent. It never happened. What a shame. Some of those figures would have been much better off being released in the first wave to really hit a 6 for Takara into the Japanese market. That these would have been a much better choice than the Dreadnoughts that were selected. It doesn't seem right to me that the Dreadnoughts have the glorious Cobra symbol attached to them. I love the Dreadnoughts as much as anyone else, but for me, they are not Cobra. I'll be interested to hear your thoughts. I would love to get to the bottom of this mystery, and doing this video has made me even more curious. Maybe I can get in touch with someone who worked for Takara back in the day.
もしもし。
Anyway, guys, it's been great sharing this Takara journey with you. I absolutely love the Takara figures in Japan, even if Takara made some mistakes. This has been Phil, a Kiwi in Japan. Sayonara. Bye.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Takara's Cobra's first 11.
Fine, I'm out of here.
You wanted the best? Well, that's too bad. This is what you're gonna get instead.